Hi, Thetcglover here. Just doing a small update on my Machina gadgets deck. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't actually care, but at least it's not like a Samorg deck or something where no one actually uses it. But actually, people do still use this deck, and it still wins. I'm going to a tournament on Monday, not Monday, Friday. I'm going to Central London to play. I haven't gone there in ages. So I just wanted to make sure this deck was absolutely ready so I can win. And yeah, so here's my list. I'll do it in a different way than I normally do. I'll just go through So yeah, 3 Fortress. There's only a few changes since the last time, but I'll explain them. 3 Fortress, your beta. 3 Gear Frame. It's pretty standard, there's 6 actually. I got a new thing, I got Peacekeeper. Actually quite a good card. I can search it through Gear Frame. I can search Gear Frame with this. I can equip this onto something, and then when it gets destroyed, I can still add something to my hand. Is it you can? Yeah, you can, but still. I can discard this and Fortress to special summon it, so it adds up to 9. And I have to discard level 8's worth of machine types. So pretty good, and I can set it as well if this is the only card in my hand, and still get some advantage. Okay, 1 Force because it's reborn for your Fortress. You got the standard 6 gadgets. Yeah, pretty great engine for keeping monsters in your hand, keeping presence on the field, and yeah, it lets you poke for damage, and it really does add up when you've got a couple of these on the field. Now, a big difference is I've took out 1 Sizan and I put in a Nisipachi. I'll explain those in a minute. I'll put these over here. Scrap Recycler, really good for I don't run Avarice, I don't really need to, because it gets a bit dead sometimes. And yeah, this card, really good draw. 1 Cyber Dragon. People say that 2 is better, but I don't like it when people take it and then turn it into a Chimera tech. So, and I've got 1 Effect Failure in here. I prefer this build that I've got rather than the Solidarity build that some people play, because it limits your options to what you can put in. I really like this card. I think it's great because it's one of those things that in gadgets and Machina gadgets you haven't really gotten out for so much. I mean, you've got like Smashing Ground, but stuff like Bionic, you can't do that. You can't use that on your turn and stuff. So Effect Failure is really good for nullifying your opponent's really big beaters and monsters and really powerful things that you don't have, and yeah, and then making them run into a D-prison or anything you got set for them, which you should, because you'll be getting advantage through gadgets, so you always have some traps probably that you draw through. 3 Smashing Grounds, pretty standard, gets rid of problems. I don't need to go into that too much, it's what you use in gadgets pretty much. 2 MST, just wait until Heavy Storm comes back in September, I'm pretty sure of it. You look at Staples, limited removal because you're playing Machine deck. Book of Moon because you can only run 1, and Noble and a Crossout. I use it in my other build. Really good for if you start off and then they set a Raikou or something, you can just get rid of it and you don't have to worry about any more of them for the rest of the game. And also, if they try and lie to you and then they have a Raikou later in the game, you can just remind them that you've just misplayed, and it's happened before, I promise you. People try and get past this card, but I'm not stupid. Okay, Cause of Haunted, yeah, for bringing back your Fortress and gadget, and then you can add a card to your hand. 7 Tools, Trap Stun, pretty good standard trap negation. You have Trap Stun because you can go for OTK with limited removal, which sometimes happens with Fortress. So yeah, pretty good card, and it's just great to negate stuff. And bottomless, 7 Tools in there now because of stuff like Solemn Judgment, which you really want to negate. 2 Bottomless. I've got Royal Oppression in here now because I have 2 options usually. I can go for the summon loads of Machina stuff and swarm the field with loads of big monsters, or I can get control, start doing control stuff with gadgets, and this card is the best control card ever. It really is. It's the best thing to stop big decks, big cards trying to swarm big everything. Torrential Tribute, because it's good. You're trying to control. 2D Presence is obviously Sakuretsu armor because I tried the other one, but yeah. Mirror Force. So yeah, that's it. My side deck is the same as it was in the other, and I'll explain to you what I'm talking about with yeah. One of the best things you can do with these two Karakuris is well, obviously you have this on your field that you've kept there from, you bottomless there monster or something, and you got this in the field, and you draw, summon this, Synchro for Beredo. This is in your deck, you special summon it into attack or defense depending on how your opponent's field's looking. Switch, his effect activates, you draw a card. So you've basically benefited and you've paid for the cost of getting this Synchro out. And the same applies for the other way. You want get Bure out, you can just summon Gadget, special summon this, and if you have another Gadget on the field, or you have Call the Haunted or Monster Reborn, you can go into this and special summon. You can't obviously, but yeah, you can recycle this with Scrap Recycler. Not Nishipashi, but it doesn't matter. Not important. And obviously this card's actually really good because you can change positions. Lots of synchro monsters, lots of big monsters don't rely on their defense to keep them around, so really good for taking stuff down. And it's actually got a decent defense if you want to set it. So yeah, that's it for my deck. I would go over my extra deck, but really the only two important monsters that you really want to be getting out is this. As you know, there is Chimeritic Fortress Dragon, but yeah, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll make a video about how I did at the tournament on Friday, and I'll tell you if it's won or not. It should though. Okay. Thetcglover is out.